Hi everybody, welcome back to my Flosstube. My name is Rachel and this is Lemonade Stitching. I'm so happy to be back with an update. It's been a couple of months since I last got on here and let you guys all know what was going on. But fall was just insane. I took a little bit of a stitching slash Flosstube hiatus for a couple of weeks. I was really into reading. I was reading some of the Throne of Glass books, and I was reading Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, and that just kind of like took over my whole life instead of stitching. And so any free time that I did have, I was like, I want to read these books. They're so good. I still haven't finished Throne of Glass. That series is a marathon, not a sprint. So I think I have 3 books left still, but so far so good. But yeah, so I was reading a ton, and then I also was applying and getting accepted into grad school. So I'm going to be starting at the University of Kentucky for my master's in January. So that was very exciting and took a little bit of time while I was writing my personal statement and stuff. And then I also started a new job. So I've been waitressing on the weekends and some evenings. So that has cut into a lot of my stitching slash recording time. But I finally have a Saturday off today, which is amazing. It feels so good. And I also finally got all my stuff together to show you what I've been working on, what I finished. Like I said, for a while there, it wasn't much, but I was able to find a good number of things to show you guys today. So I think that's it. I'm gonna jump right into it. I've got a couple of finishes to show you. We've got kind of all seasons in this, or fall, Christmas, winter in this video, so very exciting. But anyway, so first finish is from Halloween, and it is this little pumpkin bear. It's like a little kit, Needle Magic ink. I showed this a couple videos back. I got it at the Lex Creative Reuse. So this is a little stitch, and then it's so little and cute. And I did change the cat a little bit to look like my cat Sybil, but I just think this is adorable. Not really sure what I'm gonna do with it. It's just been sitting in my like side table drawer downstairs in the living room. But I might make it into like a little ornament or a little magnet or something like that. TBD. Haven't decided yet. The next finish that I have is this patch that I'm working on for a coworker. And I don't know what this symbol is, but this is what she asked for, and I said, absolutely, I got you. So I did this, and if you saw my last video, you might be thinking, Rachel, didn't you already finish that? And you'd be kind of correct. This is the one that I showed you all in my last video on this nice, clean, square piece of fabric. However, this one has heat and bond on the front, which I don't know if you'll be able to see on the camera. I cranked this out in like 2 days. I spent like 4 hours, I think, probably 4 to 6 hours stitching the design. And then the next day I went around and did the border and ironed the heat and bond on. I was like, awesome, I'm gonna crank this out in a weekend. This was Labor Day weekend I did this. And right as I was finishing up, I peeled the heat and bond off and realized I had put it on the front instead of the back. And honestly, this is probably the reason that I stopped stitching for 2 months, or one of the reasons, because I was just like, I was so over it. I was like, are you joking? Because even though like it was an easy design to stitch, it's just the same thing, you know, it's I forget what this is called when it's like all the same, but I was so devastated when I stitched, or when I put the heat bond on the front, and I just could not rescue it. I was trying to like put the fabric back on and like iron it some more and try and peel it off, and was trying to scrub it off, pick it off, but there was no recovering it. So I was like, whatever, I'll just do it again. And then finally, a couple weeks ago, I started it and did it in a number of sittings rather than all in one, and it was a lot more enjoyable. But the other thing, actually, I take that back. That is not how this goes. I almost forgot. How could I forget? Because I did this in September, that's how. When I did this project, since I wasn't following like an actual pattern, I just like picked red thread out of my like miscellaneous unlabeled box of thread, because I was like, well, I'm not gonna, or not waste a thread, but like it didn't matter the color, so I could just pick anything. So after I ruined this, I was like, oh no, I don't even know what color thread that was, but it was okay, I had some left. So I started on the new one, and I probably got like one little cross done before I was about out of thread and realized there's no way you're gonna be able to finish this with the amount of thread you have, because it's 3 strands, 1/1 on 14 count Aida. And so I took what I had left to Joann's, and I was trying to color match it to every single red thread, DMC, anchor, everything they had in there. Nothing was a perfect match. So then I had to rip all that out, and then it was actually just Thanksgiving that I started it for the 3rd time. And I think I used DMC 321 because it was the closest match. And then I was finally able to finish it. And again, I did it in a number of sittings so that I didn't throw it against a wall and cut it up and just give up. Because I wanted to finish it. I told my coworker I would do it for, she needed it for a Christmas present, so thank goodness I had plenty of time to do it. But it turned out really nice. And today I'm gonna iron the heat and bond on the back, cut it out, and hopefully it'll stay nice. I made this border design up myself because I didn't really know what to do, so hopefully it keeps the threads in. It's basically just, I did one long strand, like from one corner to the other, and then I did vertical stitches all down it. So it looks just like a thick border, and then this is the corners, and it's basically just like they meet in the center of the stitch. So I'm hoping I can cut pretty close and then just pull out like a strand or two of fabric and it'll hold together. I'm gonna tell her though, like when she irons it on, like maybe throw in a couple stitches to just hold it well on the backpack that she's putting it on. But overall, I think it'll be good. Okay, so those are my 2 cross stitch finishes, excuse me. But if you saw my last video, you'll know I was working on some project bags. I did post them on Instagram, but then I never made a video about them because I stopped stitching and doing anything. So I'm gonna show you guys quick all the 4 project bags that I made with scrap fabric, and I'm following the Tiger Lily Designs tutorial. I think that was the name. I'll have to check and I'll link it below again. But so this is the first one. And so basically all of these are this like patchwork gridded square style. And so all of these squares came from one piece of fabric, and then I cut it up. I think there were 2.5-inch squares that I cut all these into. It's been so long since I made this, I don't even remember. And then I used fusible interfacing or just some kind of interfacing to like attach them all. Go watch her tutorial. She does a great job explaining it. This is not a tutorial. This is just so you can see. But this is the first bag. It's got a tan zipper, a pink back, and then it also has pink on the inside as well as green on the top. And these are all in use. And so I was kind of mix matching all the fabrics I had to see what I had enough for. So that's the first one. The next one is this purpley bluish pink one. This one's gorgeous, except for the fact that this is going the wrong direction, but it's okay. This one's got a white zipper, a sparkly back, which again, I don't know if you can tell, it's like shimmery fabric. And then I was gonna do shimmer fabric on the inside, but then I got nervous that it would get shimmer on my projects. So I used this shimmer fabric and I just turned it inside out to do a plain white, and then I did purple on the top. And this one actually was the only bag that I made a mistake on. When I was sewing it together and attaching the zipper, I did something where I like forgot to open the zipper, or like somehow I chopped the zipper end off or something funky. I think that's what it was. I forgot to open the zipper, and so when I trimmed the zipper, the pole was on the part that I trimmed, and that was devastating, but I was actually able to reattach it. So, you know, wasn't the end of the world, but it was not fun. Would not recommend. The third bag is probably my second favorite bag. This uses like all of the fabrics that are in these other bags and is more of a random little mixed matched thing. It's got a pink zipper. It's got this like natural, like linen-y, I don't know, it kind of looks like oatmeal cloth. The lighting here is not doing it justice. Let me see what I can, no, I don't really have anything that you'll be able to see the color, but it's like a naturally linen-y color. And then the inside is green and brown. And then my favorite bag is the green bag. Green is 100% my favorite color. So this is the green bag, and then it has the same like linen-y natural back, a tan zipper, and then this like brown fabric is inside as well as the green. And again, I'm using them so it's hard to show, but yeah. So I love how these came out. Again, the tutorial was super easy to follow. They really were not that hard. And it was nice doing a few of them at a time because I could do them in stages, like do all of one step, go to the next step, stuff like that. And so it took a little while, but it didn't take as long as making like 4 bags start to finish, one after the other, I feel like. So would definitely recommend trying that pattern out. And you can customize it to any size depending on like how big you cut your squares, how many you arrange in your pattern. I ended up doing 5 by 7 for all my bags, and they all came out to about the same size. Don't ask me what that size is though, because I have no idea. I mean, again, it was like September when I did those. So those are all my finishes. Now onto my whips. I have 3 to show you. Honestly, I have no idea what I showed you in my last video. And I really did not feel like watching it. It was either watch the video or film this new one. So I chose to film the new one. So I apologize if I worked on something and I'm not gonna show it, but I am gonna do a whip parade before the end of the year. I won't say when, because who knows, but before the end of the year, I'll do a whip parade, so you'll get to see everything and where it's at. But without further ado, first I'll get into November. So I am working on all of the Croquet Agogo monthly pieces. I did July through October, and I got them done before the start of each month, and it was great. I was really on time. November, we broke the streak. December, haven't even started it. But this is November, this one down here in the corner with the little raccoon guy. So I like it. I can't decide if I'm disappointed that it's not like a turkey like Thanksgiving, because like it's cute, it's wintry. So I can't decide if like how I feel about it, if I'd rather have something more like focused on Thanksgiving versus just like wintry and good vibes. But it's super cute nonetheless. And this is where I'm at. I'm doing this on 32 count. I want to say beautiful beige, but I think that's wrong. That feels wrong. But the question is, which bag do I have it in? I think this one. Let's see. They're all in the same fabric, but it's just been so long. Oh wait, it is 32 count beautiful beige. That was right. Okay. 32 count beautiful beige. I have decided to stitch these in hand just so that I could cut my fabric and not have to work off the huge piece. And I like it. It's going good. I like doing a mix of stitching in hand, I think, and not. But I'm doing this 2/2, and this is where we're at. This one, I did make a counting mistake, so I had to rip it out and start over. If there's one thing I've learned about myself in the last few months, it's that I cannot count, like at all. It seems like literally at all. And we'll get to that in the next one too. But regardless, here is November. And I think this one I'm doing mostly in the called for colors actually, because a lot of the colors repeat between these pieces and Autumn in the City. So, which is what I'm going to show you next. So Autumn in the City is what I started for #BapToSchool, a big ass project. And I can't get this focus. It's also by Croquet Agogo, and it's a beautiful sampler. Super cute. I really want to do Halloween in the City. As soon as I started this, people started posting Halloween in the City, and I don't remember who it was because again, it was like September, but someone did it on this beautiful purple like linen, and oh my god, it was just beautiful. It was like a lot of modeling on it and stuff, and I was like, oh, should I start that? But I didn't. I was like, no, you should not. You aren't even stitching anything. But anyway, here's where I am in Autumn in the City. I made quite a bit of progress. So I did the border all the way across because my margins are a little wonky. So I had to make sure it would fit across. And then I went in and started on the top row. And I've gotten just about to the middle. This like fruit thing, or not fruit, flower fence thing, this is the center. So there we go. And this, as I said, can't count. I was working on this one of the nights that I went to Bring Your Own Craft at Lex Creative Reuse, and I realized that this yellow house is over one extra stitch, so it's one stitch to the right, which is, you know, not the end of the world. Like, you can't really tell in the grand scheme of things, but that was definitely just another like punch in the gut, like, God, like, why? So in order to fix it, I am just taking a row and like narrowing the next house that'll come up, and I think that should make it all work right, but I didn't realize that till I had finished the house. So yeah, this was a big like learn from your mistakes, or like kind of don't feel like you have to undo all of your mistakes, but rather like work with your mistakes kind of project and learning time. Because the same day that I figured that out, I had been really proud of myself because I had found a mistake up in this window. Let's see if it'll focus. Basically just like the cross, what is that called? Like the window pane cross is too low, and so that kind of messed up one of the stitches for the flowers. And so in order to fix it, I just stitched right over the white stitch with the red stitch, and you can't even tell. So it was just like little things like that, and I was like, wow, I'm so proud of myself. Like, I overcame, you know, my initial gut reaction of being upset about it. But then once I discovered the house was completely in the wrong spot anyway, I had to put it away. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go. I'll see you all next week because we're just gonna put this down and not stress about it. So that is Autumn in the City, and it is coming out really nice. I worked on that a lot on Thanksgiving and over like Thanksgiving break. I think over Thanksgiving weekend, I probably stitched more than I did in all of September, October, and November combined. The next piece that I've been working on the last couple of days is Celtic Christmas. I am very much in the Christmas spirit. I put up my Christmas tree, put up like a garland and a wreath, and so all I wanted to stitch is fall stuff, or Christmas stuff. So I pulled out Celtic Christmas. I was originally going to start working on this for Canvas Stitcher's Golden Kit Sale. I think that's what she did the hashtag as. But then I stopped stitching. So I technically didn't start it for that, but it's okay. Because it's coming along really nicely. And I haven't made any mistakes yet. Knock on wood. So this is where Celtic Christmas is at. As a refresher, this piece was gifted to me. So when I received it, these first two motifs here were done. This center part was done, and then the first four motifs on the other side were done, as well as the border that we have so far. So I've just added a few motifs on each side, and it looks fantastic. This is on 28 count natural linen. I think this Vigart, I think it's just the called for linen, but I don't know the details. I didn't get the details when I got the piece. So that's my guess. It's just like a light brown linen. And yeah, and I'm doing it in all the called for colors. I have the DMC metallic thread, and let me tell you, I really thought everyone was being a little dramatic when they talked about using metallic thread. I was like, it can't be that bad. Like, it can't be that hard. You know, I feel like I'll be fine. No, it is hard. I take it back. I apologize to everybody. It is difficult. And the hardest part about it is just that the strands don't stay together. If you've never used the metallic thread, at least the DMC spool that I got, I could show it to you. It comes on a spool like this, and it is 3 strands but because of the thread, they don't really stay together. So when you first take it out, they're nice and twisted, but then the longer you work on it, the more they untwist themselves, and they just don't go back. They don't hold, like they just slide against each other. So when you pull your needle out, you'll have like one strand sticking up, and then you gotta like constantly be pulling them, like rather than pulling through the needle, you have to like pull the strands themselves, if that kind of makes sense. So I've learned you just little pieces at a time, slow but steady wins the race. Don't get over confident and you'll be okay. But yeah, everything else is just 2 over 2. It's just the gold that is 3 over 2. So I love her. She's so pretty. I was nervous to mess her up, but now I can't stop working on her. I'm probably gonna work on her later today. Because I love it. And I just want to stitch Christmas. Like, I love doing the gold. And it's also nice because I'm only doing 3 colors at the moment. I'm just doing the red, the green, and the gold. So it's pretty mindless. It just does the same repeating patterns. So I really like working on Celtic Christmas. And I really like how it's coming out. Next, I have 2, where'd the other one go? Oh, there it is, okay. I have 2 new like acquisitions haul pieces to show you guys. The first one, we're going back to fall, and it is Autumn's Glow. This is a new pattern I got, and this is from the Just Cross Stitch magazine, the October issue of 2023, and I am in love with this. The second I saw this pattern on Instagram, I was like, I have to have it. I really want to stitch this and have it in my house next fall because it is just so pretty. And I feel like you could keep this up. You could keep it up in December if you wanted to, like with the red stuff. But like all the way through Thanksgiving, like September through Thanksgiving, this will be in my house. I love it so much. I really, really want to stitch it on this exact linen that's in the cover photo, but I cannot figure out what it is. Now, granted, it's been a minute since I went through this pattern because, again, I bought it in October or September, October, whenever it was released. But it doesn't say what the model fabric is. I think that's what this, or no, maybe it does. Oh, it does say it's 28 count cashmere country French linen from Wichelt Imports. But I feel like, I guess I should have done more research before I sat down to film this, but I feel like I remember looking up this fabric when I bought the pattern, and it looked 100% different. Like, it looked like a total different color. So if anybody has used the cashmere country French linen from Wichelt Imports, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that, please let me know if it is this like light cream color, or if you know if this model is stitched on something else. I would love for mine to look exactly like this. So I got that, super excited. I cannot wait. I don't know when I'm gonna start this, but it will be getting started in 2024. I can almost guarantee. I mean, you know, assuming I don't stop stitching again. Oh, that's the other thing that happened in the last 3 months is I registered for StitchCon. Very exciting. I can't believe I forgot that in the beginning. I will be going to StitchCon weekend A in June. Very, very excited. I hope to meet many of you guys there. I'm very much looking forward to it. Who knows what I'll stitch when I'm there, but I'm so excited. The last thing I got is not a cross stitch project, but it is materials for a little Christmas craft that I want to do. Who knows when I'll get to do it. But I'm gonna make one of those like tied fabric Christmas garlands. I'll put in a picture. I was at Michael's Christmas shopping a couple weeks ago and I saw one and I was like, I can definitely make that. That is not hard. It's literally just strips of fabric tied on a piece of rope, like not hard at all. So a couple weeks ago when I was at Lex Creative Reuse, I picked up a ton of red and green scraps of fabric and a piece of cord as well, and I'm gonna DIY a little garland. So this is the cord I got. It's just like a maroon pretty thick piece of cord. And then to go on there for my little fabric strips, I got some green, some stripes, some white, little snowman, little like plaid snowman moment, little plaid moment, one of those like, it's like a picnic tablecloth pieces, but you know, you won't even be able to tell when it's cut into strips. A red and green plaid moment. I think this is literally a napkin. A creamish color, this tan color, another green, and then a little pack of reds, but I think I'm mainly interested in like this one on the end and then the solid red. But yeah, so I got all these. We'll see what I use and what I don't. This is a terrible way to show you all of these. I won't necessarily use them all for the garland. I'll have to like lay it out and see how they go together. But then whatever I don't use will just go into my little scraps pile and I'll have it for another project. So that is everything that oh, no it's not. I lied. I have my notes over here so I don't forget, even though I'm still forgetting things anyway. But I wanted to give a shout out to 2 new Flosstubers that I watched in the last like week or two. I know some people do Flosstuber shout outs every video. I cannot do it. Sometimes I get in moods where I want to watch a lot of new people, sometimes I don't, but I have been in one of those moods this past couple weeks, so I am going to give a shout out to these 2 channels that I really, really liked, and that I subscribed to immediately. And the first was to Carmen from Cardamom Pins. She does a lot of modern folk embroidery pieces, and that is another kind of bucket list item that I have for 2024 is to start a modern folk embroidery. I don't know for sure which one yet, but I want to get at least one piece because I love a lot of them. So I subscribed to her. She's great. I really liked her video. And then the other new Flosstuber I watched was Andrew, who is the runner stitcher, and he does a lot of cross stitch on sweatshirts, and he talked a little bit about using like waste canvas and water soluble canvas to stitch on sweatshirts and apparel, and that just blew my mind because I never even thought of it. And then as soon as I saw him hold up the waste, or no, he didn't have waste canvas, he doesn't like using waste canvas. I looked up what waste canvas was, and I realized I have some of that in my stash and I didn't know what it was. I had gotten some from my grandma, and I was like, well, now we're definitely gonna have to cross stitch on a sweatshirt. Again, don't know what it'll be, but I was inspired by Andrew, subscribed immediately, and I'm very excited to see both of their channels grow and kind of see what they do next. So with that is everything that I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this video, hope you saw something you liked, and I will see you guys soonish for my next video, which is probably gonna be a whip parade. I'm thinking going forward, I'm gonna aim for once a month rather than every 2 weeks, because given just how busy life has been, I think that's just a lot more attainable for me. So I will see you guys with a whip parade, and then I'll see you again in January.